What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing good. I just wanted to do a quick little competition recap that Crystal and I went to over the weekend. So we went down to Battle Springs Ranch, which is in Ardmore, Oklahoma. It's about 100 miles south of Oklahoma City. They put on a bunch of classes out there. They do precision rifle shooting classes, gunfighter 1 and 2, and a couple other different courses. But they put on a gunfighter run and gun. So it's a 5K or a 10K loop that you can sign up for. There, in each loop, there's 3 pistol stages, 3 rifle stages, and 6 obstacles that you have to go through. How they had it set up is you, on the start, you took off running and you would run to your first stage, shoot, go through an obstacle, or take off running, and then go through an obstacle, go to your next stage, shoot, obstacle. It staggered like that. And then at the end, you had to run up to the top of their 4-story, 4 or 5. We'll call it 4.5, 4.5 story training tower. And then you came back down, and whenever you got back down, your time ended. So it was all time based. So you had your start time, and then you would get into a stage. The judge would mark your time in the stage and then also mark down if you had to wait. So our first stage, it kind of got backed up and we had like an hour wait. It was a long wait, but so they would mark down your wait time, and then at the end of it, they would take off your wait times, and that would be your score. So it was a lot of fun. It was different than the tactical games. So you had to carry all of your equipment that you were going to use. So you had to carry your rifle. Of course, you had your gun belt, but you had to carry all of your ammo that you needed to shoot. So the minimum was 120 rifle rounds and 60 a pistol. I have not run any distance carrying 100. I ended up carrying 140 rounds of rifle, and with all my pistol mags was 93 rounds. Of course, I came back. I had extra 2 full rifle and a full pistol mag. So that was good. I brought back ammo. I didn't miss a lot. Yeah, it was. And then, of course, with my belt set up, I ended up wearing my plate carrier because I had pouches or the elastic cummerbund on the side of my plate carrier. So between fully loaded mags, belt, plate carrier, rifle, it was a little rough. And of course, nothing is flat out there. It's all rolling hills, and it ended up getting up to, I think, 82 degrees. So a little dehydrated, little sunburnt, but we got it done. So shout out to Sterling. He's one of the instructors out at Battle Springs Ranch, and he was the one that put on the run and gun. He did a really good job, and definitely we'll go back to do it again. So yeah, that was we started at noon on Saturday. So between all the wait times and everything, I think it actually took us about about an hour and a half to do. So the stages were pretty good. The rifle stage, first rifle stage, was set up. They had 4 barricades, and I say barricades, they were pallets that had different square holes. So one was lower, one was a little bit higher, and then they had steel targets that were in line about 50 yards of these barricades. So on the call go, you ran up, got into position, and it was 2 shots per port. So per barricade, 4 shots total. And you had to hit a steel target at 50 yards. And then you got up, moved to the next one, continued that down to the 4th one, and then worked your way back. So I did really well on that stage. Just used to shooting barricades and how to get into position quickly, find the target, and also move. There was some people that would get into position, shoot, stand up, step over, drop back down, get into position, and shoot. And that sucked your time away. There was a par time of 190 seconds. So I think I did it in just over a minute. Like a minute and a half. So with that, my plan was to just drop down, get into position, shoot, and then while I was still on my knees, just take a step, but move my knee over, and I was right in position of the next port, shoot, get up, and repeat that through the whole stage. So it worked out really well. I had 0 misses on that. And then you left from there, went up and did a pistol stage. And it was all the targets were steel targets. And the pistol stage they had a big silhouette target that had 3 cutouts. So you would shoot the cutout and it would swing out to the outside. So it was low on a silhouette target. So lower, middle, and then top. And then you ran down off to the side. You did a dueling tree with 6 plates, and then ran down to the end. And they had 2 round steel targets, and you shot those 5 times. So you could pick whatever order, as long as you got 5 hits on those. And you ran back down to the dueling tree, shot the dueling tree again, ran back, and shot your first target with the 3 swinging targets. So you shot them back into place. I did forget, before you started that, you did a 40-yard tire drag down and back. A lot of people were complaining about the tire drag and how difficult it was. It wasn't difficult. It was a baby tractor tire. So, and it was on dirt, so it slid pretty easy. I did really, really good in that stage. I am gonna hold it over Crystal. I beat Crystal in a handgun shoot. I'm gonna live with that, and I'm gonna hold that over her. So, finish that stage, and then you went over. They had these hay bales that were stacked up, so you went up and over these hay bales, and then you ran to your next stage, which was another pistol stage. Kind of same setup. You shot 2 targets So 2 hits per target, and then you drop down to that was standing, and you drop down to prone, and shot the 2 targets again twice, cleared and showed safe, and ran down to another barricade, and they had 3 different ports that you shot from, and once again 2 shots on each target. There was 2 targets, and then once you were done with that, ran up this really long hill. it, it took forever to get up, and so got up to the top of the hill was the next obstacle. You ran, or you not ran, you went up a ladder. It's probably about 15 feet up, and then they had this fire hose that was stretched about 20 feet, and you had to grab onto that fire hose, and you can either do hand over hand, get your feet up on it. However you needed to cross that fire hose and touch the metal bar on the other side, you could do it. And once again, you are doing all these stages carrying everything, carrying your rifle. There is no grounding of rifles. So that was doing that rope, that fire hose climb was, it wasn't difficult, it was just different. And then got done with that, and then ran down. They had a long distance shooting lane. You ran down that hill to the bottom, and they had another pistol shoot. Ran back up the hill, and that is where another obstacle was. I will hate this to the very end. They had about 25 yards of AstroTurf, and you had to low crawl from one end to the other. When I mean low crawl, is on your belly, using your arms and legs, army crawling to the end. And I tore up my elbows pretty good, and I haven't army crawled in a very long time. I get about halfway through, and my hamstrings and hip flexors are just screaming, and it was different. It was tough. If they don't ever do that again, I would be very happy. So ran down, got done with that, ran down, and did a rifle shoot, and this was about 200 yards, and you had 3 targets, various sizes, that you had to engage, 3 hits on each target. And so one, you were shooting off a smaller wire spool, and so you had to engage the 3 targets off the wire spool, and then move over to they had a tank trap set up, which I do really good at tank traps. We train on them a lot, and then you engage those same targets. And then from there, you went back up the hill and around the corner, back around, and you did another rifle shoot, and that was 225 yards. silhouette target, and they had this big VTAC set up, and you had to engage it was a single target, so a single silhouette target, 200 yards, and you had to shoot it, I'm going to say 4 times of in each port, and there was 4 ports. So, and then once you got done with that, you ran back up to the road and ran into your finish. So once you got back, you had to go up the training tower, which is 4.5 stories, and then back down. And then once you did that, then your time ended. So it was different than the tactical games, but it was a lot of fun, and just getting to know, learning your gear, and knowing how to distribute weight around, which it was a really good opportunity to work on that. I've got to get used to carrying a rifle slung on my back. I got tired of it after a little bit, and I would sling it on my front, and just kind of hold on to it with one hand and run. But all in all, it was a good course. Something different, which was nice. And so, yeah, I placed 17th out of 83. So I was happy with that. I felt like my shooting was really good. I was slow on the run. There were some runners there, and they had done the course before, so they knew kind of how the layout and everything was. So, but they absolutely killed it. Going into this, I really wanted to see how my shooting was or has improved since the tactical games last year, and my shooting has really improved. I've gotten a lot better at getting shots off quicker and more accurate shots, which was key to this event. So I felt like my shooting was really good. And let's see, Crystal took first place in women's, so she did awesome. And yeah, so met a lot of new people, and got to hang out and talk with the guys from Rainier Arms in Oklahoma City, Landon and Cole. So that I'm looking at making a second rifle. So had a really good conversation with them, and so might be going with them for my next rifle. So they had several of their rifles there, and rifles were pretty good. So but yeah, that was the weekend. So said just want to do a little race recap with you guys, and let you know how it went. So we'll see you guys on the next one.